Hey everyone, just thought I'd do another video for you. This one I'm going to continue on from the last one we did. I brought you into the RFNSA website. Now, within that website, it shows where mobile towers are. Here inside it, there's an APANSA EME report that shows the levels of exposure that are meant to be happening through the EME levels and says where they're sitting with their proposals. Now, I thought from this, what it would be interesting is to go to local businesses and talk to unions. So I thought, firstly, I'd go into the APANSA website and see how easy it is to read. Now, the APANSA website gives you this maximum exposure levels for 3K to 300 gigs. This was put together in 2002. It's now 2020. So this is 18 years ago with no updates happening, saying this is what the safety levels are. Now, if you scroll through, this is 100 pages or whatever it is worth of information, and it is the most confusing gobbledygook rubbish that I've ever seen in my life. Now, their exposure limits are 1,000 times higher than what everyone else in the world has. Now, I'm not going to go right into what they're saying is their exposure limit, but what I thought I'd do is go through and have a look at what our unions are saying, so our health and safety reps in Australia. So when I clicked in and had a look at our health and safety areas in our papers, this is ohnsrep.org.au, and I started having a look at phone towers and RF within the workplace. And it says here, workers are often concerned when phone towers, antennas, or transmitters are installed on top of their workplace. So it's not necessarily just about them being on top, but in the areas. When you read through, it says here, towers produce electromagnetic radiation in the form of microwaves and radio frequency waves 24 hours a day, which is a big thing, 24 hours a day. Issues for OH&S reps. Has the building had a proper structural survey to make sure it can hold the weight of the aerial? That's a big one. Then right down here it says in the early days of mobile telephony, base stations were usually tall structures serving large areas. Now we've got small cells coming in. 1997 federal government introduced the Telecommunications Act, which I'll touch on in the next video. When we look further down, the relevant Australian standard does not provide adequate protection. It allows the public to be exposed to 200 microwatts per centimetre squared, whereas effects on the body have been shown at 1 microwatt per centimetre squared. Well, this is what we're saying. The standards are much higher than they should be. This is an OH&S site saying that the standards are much higher because they presume that health effects only occur if the body is heated by 1 degree, whereas studies have shown the effects on the body occur below the heating threshold. This is what we keep on saying. The studies are saying that you can get sick and be unwell and have all kinds of different things happening with you much lower than what it says. Many councils have introduced policies on the siting of mobile phone towers designed to provide some protection. Erection of mobile phone towers classified as low impact is permitted without council approval. Low impact classification applies to the appearance under 5 meters and not the emissions of the antenna, which may be equal to, less than, or greater than other antennas. So that's a huge thing. So OH&S people writing this page, which is to be used around Australia, are saying that they feel like they're being misled as well. So the areas are normally sited on tall buildings to cover the widest area possible. This has meant that many employers and building owners have been approached with financial inducements for the siting of areas on or near their premises. This is a particular problem within schools and colleges. See that? Schools and colleges, churches too. The ones that want the money for having these structures on their buildings are the ones that are making us get sick. So what are the health effects? Both microwaves and radio frequencies, heating effects on substances containing water. Base station aerials affect a person who is extremely close to the aerial. Controls are put in place to prevent any direct biological effects due to heating. No studies on the effects of radiation, and no effort to monitor the health of people living near them. See, there you go. So they're putting money into doing research, or they're putting money into telling us about these towers and things and trying to make us think they're okay, but that's all. What I want you guys to do is go and speak to your unions. And when you speak to your unions, say, we're not happy with these cell towers coming up and popping around near where we live. 5G is now being used at 3.4 gigahertz, but it's going to go right up and have open slather right up to 100 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. Go to your union websites. Here's the Australian meat industry employees. Go to your union websites and make them do something about it. Peace.